YouTube channel, and today we are live. Woo! How are you? Today we are focusing on grounding floor exercises, and our goal is to harmonize stress. So let us begin. And again, sometimes the video gets cut off when I go live. It doesn't record for a few seconds. So today is Throwback Thursday, episode 4. Let's go! Woo! All right. I'm so glad you guys are here. We are definitely wanting to be more grounded. We want to be more connected to nature. So one of the things that we're going to start with is we're going to get on our knees. And it's easy for me because I have this yoga mat, so it's not bad. It feels pretty cozy, actually. So we're going to get on our knees, and we're going to praise Mother Earth. So right away, we're going to give all of our grateful mindset. We're going to get in our grateful mode. And we're just going to be grateful. And we're going to do this towards the universe. We're going to be appreciative towards Earth, Mother Earth. That's what we're doing. So we're getting on our knees and we're just reaching up and saying, thank you so much for everything that I have. So we're getting in our grateful mindset. And that's important. It's important to be in the moment, and it's important to realize the things that we have and just take a moment to stop and say thank you. So what a better way to say thank you than to get on our knees on the ground. And these are imported ceramic tiles. So I am literally on the ground, very grounded. That is what today is about. It's not about being up here, like feeling stuck in your head. Have you ever felt just stuck in your head and then like you're sort of flighty, like everything is like up here, like up in the air? Well, we're going to do these floor exercises, which are going to help us feel more grounded and connected to Mother Earth. We want to connect to the universe. Thanks for joining, guys. Hey, I see your comments. For some reason, it takes quite a minute. It took all that time for the live comments to start flowing in like the river. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you. So grounding floor exercises use physical contact with the ground to reduce anxiety and increase present moment awareness. So we want to just be very present and aware. And this often involves sitting or lying down or being propped up on your knees on the ground to focus on sensory input. So now I'm going to get into another position where we're going to use a technique where we're putting our feet flat on the ground. That's why I'm sitting first. So we can start with the feet on the ground, and you can put your hands on your knees to sort of support your body weight from shifting, and it's a balance. So we're going to do intentional breathing. So we're going to breathe in. We're going to hold it. We're going to encompass the breath in this area here, like the chest and the shoulders and the head. And then we're going to let it out through our mouth. And again, an intentional breath through our nose. We're going to hold it in our upper body and then let it out through our mouth. This is going to give us muscle relaxation and body scanning. to feel supported by the earth. So when you're on the floor, you're pretty grounded, right? And these methods help us anchor our mind. And that's according to health experts. So I didn't make it up. But it sure does feel good. And I'm confirming that this is the best way to get grounded. So another way that you can do the next technique is to get into the yoga position on the ground. So if that involves pulling one heel closer than the other, whichever way you're more comfortable, and then just gently rest your hands on your knees. Now reach up, put your arms straight out, and then reach up. And then you could also look up and reach and keep reaching. It'll strengthen and straighten your spine and loosen your shoulders. So you want to put your shoulders back and then roll your neck. So you're putting your shoulders back like, what is this? This is like the criminal position. Like, oh, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. So this is, you put your elbows back, your shoulders back, and you reach up and hold and reach further higher and hold and keep straightening that spine. And now just come back and relax your elbows into your hips and then hold your hands out for gratefulness, receiving the blessings from Mother Earth. Now you could switch legs. Okay. And we're sitting up as far as possible and straightening that spine. Now, we want to get back into the position of stretching forward, where our knees are together and we're sitting up tall and we're resting our elbows into our hips. And then we are gently reaching forward ever so slightly, and you start to feel these bands in your shins like tightening up. That's normal. And then you're just bending forward with your spine. So you're reaching for new heights in the forward direction. You're setting your intention by reaching for new directions and new paths and new opportunities. And so you're reaching forward, and you're not reaching down towards your toes. You are reaching straight out. So forward and hold. And you can switch your hand position from like open to like facing each other to like face down. And you can do a stretch for each one. So we'll do the face down on the hand, and we'll stretch forward and back. And now we'll face our hands together. And this is opening our mind to different possibilities. And now we are reaching forward and then going back. And now put the hands up. We are in total receiving mode. And so reach forward, hold. And now you're telling the universe, Mother Earth, and the Great Spirit, Father Sky, that you're open to receiving. And now go back and then rest your elbows and keep your hands open where they're facing up, because we want to continue to receive the blessings and the rewards and the bonuses and the pay and the wire transfers and the opportunities, the brand deals, the viralness. We want to receive all of the universal gifts that life has to offer. And now we're reaching up and we're putting our hands facing, we're reaching up and we're bending our knees a little bit because this is a little hard when our legs are straight out. And so we give it a little leeway here in the legs and then reach straight up. And keep reaching up. Straighten that spine. Take a deep breath in. Hold. And then let it out and slowly let your arms down by your sides. Like the criminal position that we made. And then the zombie position with your arms. And then release them. And now the thighs should be a little sore from holding them straight. So you want to get back into the yoga position for a minute. How are you, everybody? Thanks for joining. So now that we're in the yoga position, we want to do something with our toes. We want to go ahead and let our toes wiggle a little bit because it will open our minds again. We're doing a lot of grounding, which you have to be very open-minded to be grounded, because otherwise you're up here in your head a lot and you're not really grounded when you're too much in your head. You need the balance of all the blood to flow from your head to your feet evenly. And so we want to wiggle our toes. So I'm gonna do one toe, one foot at a time, and we'll do this set of toes here. And we're just gonna sit here nice and tall and just wiggle our toes around like this. So sitting as tall as you can and resting your arms kind of maybe by your side. And then pulling in the yoga position, pulling one leg up and wiggling these toes. And this is telling the great gods and the goddesses of the universe that you are planning on reaching new heights, because it's in the movement of the foot, and you're telling your feet that you want to go to new places and experience new things. And now we're going to get the other leg and we're going to put it up here so it's on top now, and we're going to wiggle those toes. And we're going to say positive statements. I am doing things. I am going to new places and I am seeing new things and I am meeting new people. While I'm wiggling my toes, I'm opening myself up to opportunities that life has to present itself. So wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, so we're all wiggled out on the toes now. Now we're gonna like kind of slant back a little bit. And we're gonna take all the pressure off of our back. So we're gonna put our arms behind us and we're gonna like kind of lay back a little with our legs still crossed. And now we're gonna straighten our legs. And now we're going to put our arms back, and we're gonna keep going as far back as we can. We're kind of walking backwards with our hands behind us. That's as far as I'm comfortable for the moment without stretching my biceps too much. And so I'm going to just comfortably stay like that. And now I'm going to lay down. I'm going to lay down, but I'm going to have to use my elbows to like anchor myself down now. Okay. All right. So I'm not laying down all the way. I'm on my elbows, and it looks like I'm sort of like sunbathing. You know, I'm just sort of just sitting here propped up with my elbows, and I got my knees bent, and I'm sort of looking around. like observing the atmosphere. And now I'm going to lay down all the way. I'm going to lay down all the way. I'm going to straighten my spine on the ground. So now I'm nice and flat, and I'm going to keep my knees bent. And this is straightening the muscles in your back. It's flattening them out. And then you try to take a nice, deep, relaxing breath. Now I'm going to stomp. I'm going to stomp my feet. So I got my knees bent and I got my legs pointed upwards. My knees pointed towards the ceiling. And so my knees are definitely bent at like a 50% angle. And now I'm going to take one foot and I'm going to stomp a little. I'm going to do a repetitive stomp. And now I'm going to do the other foot. What this is doing is it's giving a little bit of a shock to your circulation. Again, the other foot. And it's sending signals for the blood to flow from the bottom of your feet and go back up into your ankles and into your shins. Now in this position, you can stop stomping and you can just put your feet down flat on the ground so you feel the earth. And now your spine is nice and straight. Now you can just reach straight up. It's very simple. It doesn't hurt, although it is hard to get up out of if you're not experienced. So if you want to get out of it, I suggest somehow roll onto your side and then help yourself up. Right now, your stomach will start flattening out because your spine is straightening. It's like you could almost feel everything aligning. And then take a nice couple deep breaths, and then all of a sudden your stomach will like sink in because your rib cage is aligned. And your stomach should get flatter and flatter on this exercise. And then reaching straight up, and then putting the arms straight behind you. And this will really straighten your spine on the ground. Okay. And now you can sort of rotate the arms behind you and then lift them up and then put them straight in front of you like the zombie. Like here's the zombie. And then now you're lowering down onto the ground, your arms. And you just let everything rest now. Now you straighten your legs. You straighten your legs. Now you let your whole body completely flatten out. And you squeeze your buttocks. You squeeze your gluteus maximus together and it aligns your spine and your hips. And so you do that. And we're going to do a self-care Saturday where we're learning about isometrics and how to squeeze our muscles together. So this is like an intro on the gluteus maximus squeezing our buttocks, cheeks together, and it is straightening our spine and our hips. It's like you'll start to feel your heels like readjust on the ground, and then now you can flex your feet up towards your knees, your toes towards you, and you can do it like fast and slow, like fast release, or you can go slow towards you, the toes, and then slowly point them. And don't point too much at the beginning because you can get a cramp in your shin, in your calf, actually. You could also get it in your shin, but it's more likely to get it in your calf when you're pointing your toes. And so you can do the arm movement with it, so pointing the toes towards you, squeezing the gluteus maximus, and and then putting the shoulders on the ground. So when you reach back and you put the arms behind you, they'll naturally just fall onto the ground, like slowly. They'll iron right out because your spine is straightening, and now you're working those ankles still and those Achilles, and you're pointing your toes towards you, you're pulling your toes towards you, and then you're releasing, and you're squeezing your gluteus maximus at the same time. So point towards you and release. Squeeze the butt, point towards you and release. And now point the toes towards, away from you. And then, and now you could now that you're doing that movement, you can take your arms behind you and you can sort of bring them forward and let them lay flat by your side and point your toes. And then release and point away from you. You're pointing your toes away from you, and then release, and then pointing them and release. Now just take a deep breath and do whatever. See, that was good because everything sort of aligned when I just did whatever comes natural. And now you have a small in your back right now, and you can roll your hips forward and back, forward and back. And this is filling the gap where your spine and your butt behind, your lower back and your butt, the top of your butt, there's a curve there. Naturally, everybody has it. Well, you can stretch that muscle by rolling. Now you got your knees to the ground. You got your knees to the ceiling still and your feet are on the ground. And you can stretch that muscle by rolling your hips down and then up. So roll them. And you're using your abdomen to point, move in the direction, and your neck is getting straight too from this. So all the little natural curves behind your neck and your lower back are flattening. So you're kind of pushing your body towards your head, and it rolls everything. Roll, roll. Now, getting out of this position, I suggest rolling over on your side and helping yourself up with your hand, elbow. But me, I'm pretty sure I can get up out of this without that by just propping myself up. Great. Great, you guys are still there. I didn't look at the camera there for a minute. So we want to do some body rocking, okay? So this is a good position to do it in, actually. You got your feet on the floor, and you got your knees up, and you're sort of holding yourself up, behind you a little. You're kind of tilted back. And now you could sway left, right, left, right. And this is moving your hips. We're gently rocking our body from left to right. Now we're focusing on our weight shifting. This is helping us become more flexible of a human being. Our personality is, we're swaying into different moods. Great, I took a nice deep breath. Now I'm going to get a little closer here to you guys. How are you doing? I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. So we're going to do a method which has to do with our senses, and that is also going to help us become more grounded. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a nice deep breath. So my breath I'm holding here in my stomach and my the center of my solar plexus, and now I'm letting it out through my mouth. So right now we're going to identify 5 things that we see. Let me get rid of this distraction here. Okay. So 5 things that we see, we're going to identify. All right? Okay. So I'm going to imagine that I am in the atmosphere of my thumbnail on this video, which is a river setting. So because I'm big time on manifestation and visualization, that's going to be my choice of what I see right now, because I believe that I am there. So and you could see whatever you want to see too. It doesn't necessarily have to be, in the room. Okay. So I'm going to start with the things that are associated with closest to what's in the room, which is granite. So I see granite counters. So I'm going to see a mountain. That's what I'm going to see. I'm going to see a mountain. I see a mountain. 5 things, okay, that you see. I see a hill. I see a hill. I see a pine tree. I see a pine tree. I see a green bush with flowers on it, with orange flowers. I see a green bush with orange flowers. And now I see a river. I see a river. So now we're going to go to 4 things that you can touch. And again, I'm going to be in my river setting when I'm touching things, okay? So right now, I'm touching the ground, and it has like leaves, and it's got like plant sheddings. So I'm touching the ground. 4 things that I could touch. And so right now I'm sitting in front of the river, so I could touch the water. I could touch the water in the river. And you can touch it with both hands. And now a baby cub comes up, like out of near the mountain, and it lays down next to me. So now I'm petting a cat, a baby cub, a leopard, an orange leopard. So I'm petting an orange leopard. And now there's a stick, and I want to play with the cub with the stick a little bit. So it's a big stick, and it's right here, and I'm picking up the stick. So I'm touching the stick. I feel the wood. I feel the natural tree. Okay, so those are the 4 things that I'm touching. Okay, so now let's move on to things that we can hear. So we're going to do 3 things that we can hear. Okay, so I'm going to leave off with the cub, which is I hear the cub purring as I'm petting him. He's about this big. That's why I'm not scared, because he's still a baby. And so he's playful, and I'm listening to him purr as I'm petting this orange leopard cub. I'm listening to him purr. So that's 1 thing that I can hear. Now, as I'm petting him, I hear a bird, a really loud bird. It's very distinct, almost as if it's saying hello and want to play with me and the cub. So I hear the purring and I hear the bird. And now Now I hear its mom, and it's roaring like in the distance, like, "Rah." Where's my cub, But I'm not scared at all because I'm in perfect harmony with nature. I'm harmonizing my stress by getting into nature, and I am grounding myself by being on the ground and doing these stretches. So those are the three things that I could hear. Now there's going to be two things that I smell. So there's going to be two things that I smell, okay? So the first one is, and this is, you do these two, like these senses. So there's 5 things you see, 4 things you could touch, 3 things you could hear, and 2 things you could smell. And so I smell the sea bass. I could smell the fresh fish in the river and in the lake in the distance. I could smell it. And it's making me hungry because it smells fresh. And now I could smell the wildlife in general, like the entire mass of the wildlife. So I'm really grounded because I'm like, all these sensories are like going off and I'm in the moment. And the last one is now something that I could taste. So there's one thing that I could taste. And that is, I could taste the mist in the air from the river and the lake in the distance because it's roaring. It's a roaring, rapid river. And the air is blowing the water into the air, and the air is picking up into the mist, and the mist is hitting me in my face, and I'm tasting it. I hope you enjoyed those 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. It's very, very grounding. It brings you back to reality. Even though if you're in a fantasy, and like you could do that in your living room or your bedroom, and you could just get grounded with what's surrounding you. But I just chose to go to a place, in my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So now we're going to do some deep breathing, and we're just going to stretch in any which way for a moment. We're going to stretch up. We're going to straighten our spine. We're going to inhale slowly, focusing on our lungs filling. We're going to hold. And then we're going to exhale slowly while picturing negative thoughts leaving. So we're going to picture the thoughts vanishing. They just go whoop into the air. And get into any position that's comfortable for this. So I'm going to stretch my legs a little towards me and get ready for my front leg stretch, where I just reach for my toes because I got my spine as straight as possible. I got my shoulders back. I got my legs in front of me. And now I'm going to kind of glide my fingers like down the front of my legs, down the top of my shins. Keep going with your fingers towards your ankles. And every time it feels a little far, you hold that position and just hold it. And that prepares you for going a little further. So glide the fingers towards your ankles some more. And now hold that. And now glide your fingers down your ankles and hold that. Now I'm about touching my ankles. And now glide and run the fingers up the top of your foot and touch your toes and hold. And then gently release back and reach up and straighten that spine and lift those knees so you can pull your knees into your chest. And just keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling your knees into your chest. So you're sitting up and you're trying to straighten your spine as much as possible, but you're grabbing each knee, you're keeping your legs together and you're pulling them towards you. And you're just trying to sit up as tall as you can. And you're trying to keep your knees together because they have a tendency to want to open there. You could even lock your fingers. And try to keep your neck straight. And then try to look forward. And try to keep that spine straight. And try to pull those legs more and more. You could even use the inside of your forearms. This is grounding you. It's putting you back together. You're pulling all your energy in where you feel that you might have been careless and have left it. So you're pulling all your energy together and you're becoming one whole person again, because wherever you carelessly dropped your energy, you are now retrieving it. You're retrieving it. And you can get out of that position in any which way. And now you became yourself again. You're completely centered. And now you could do some of the little shoulder exercises. So you could roll your shoulders. So I'm going to show you. Roll, roll. So you're really working those elbows back. You're really sticking your chest out and you're like rolling those shoulders and then forward, forward. You're kind of like rowing a little bit with your arms. You're rowing back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And then rolling them up and down, up and down. So you're doing circular motions, up, down, up. You could rest your arms now on your tops of your legs and just roll. Keep the spine straight, roll back with the shoulders, roll, and now forward. You're completely resting your arms on your legs, forward and back, 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 forward, forward, forward. Oh, that's so nice. Now you could take your shoulders and you could raise them towards your ears. And these are shoulder shrugs. So you could raise them and then drop them. Raise them, hold, drop. Raise them, drop. Raise them, drop. Raise your shoulders, drop. Raise your shoulders, drop. Now you can pat yourself on the back. You can pat yourself on the back and be like, wow, I think I worked up a little sweat here. Like, this is really good. I got my body mentally prepared to go out into the world, and I've already felt all of my pressure, anxiety points leaving, and I felt texture. I felt what it's like to be on the ground. I connected with the earth, and I got everything I needed out of this video. I gave you everything that I wanted to help with reducing anxiety and increasing present moment awareness. So we locked in today on being grounded, and I'm very pleased. Thank you so much. I'm going to show you a stretch where you can release tension in your hips. So you lay on your side, and then you're kind of like propping yourself up with your other arm. The other arm, the top arm is just resting on your thighs, and you're not laying all the way on your side. You're just kind of like if you're laying on the beach, you know, just like, or by the river again, just observing the atmosphere, you know, real casual with your legs, you know, just on your side so your legs go together. So this prepares you to be able to get into the position of laying completely on your side, because you like take it in stages. So you did that. So now you want to actually get on your side, and you can hold your head up too. So you can hold your head up, and you could just do these exercises where you hold your legs together and you push them out towards you. So you're making like a U, and then back and forward and back. So this is more like an L, like you're making an L shape, not a U. And this one's like a Z, you know? And you could do the other side. You should, if you do one side, you should always do the other side of everything. Hello, thanks for joining. I do most of my videos live. I do some pre-recorded videos. Thanks for following. So you can't get right into that. You gotta kind of do the thing where you're propping yourself up again. So you're like resting on your back elbow, and you got your legs together, and you're just like observing for a minute. So you're like shifting your body weight in this direction. You're preparing yourself to be able to lay down on your side. And then you could just go for it, get on your side. You could hold your head up, and you could do the thing where you're moving your legs forward and then back. So the L and the Z. The L and the Z. So there's other floor exercises you could do with your legs. And one of them involves like lifting your leg up, literally. Like, so you would take this leg and just lift it up. A little bit, not all the way. You could go all the way up, like all the way up here. But sometimes it works it just as much if you just lift it just a couple inches. And this helps your back and your side, your hip, the whole leg. It just helps everything. So you're just kind of gently lifting the whole leg. You know, even the thigh and the shin, the whole leg, you're lifting about a foot. And it gets sore. And the way you help yourself up is by the arm that you were supporting yourself with. It gets sore, so we have to do the other one where we're lifting the leg up a little bit. Okay. So we're lifting a little bit, the whole leg, about a foot. Great. So now we're going to get ourselves up. Now we're going to get into this position where we are sitting straight up. And we got our legs in front of us, like straight. And now we're going to open our legs a little bit to where they're like shoulder width or hips. So it's about shoulder width right there. And we're going to reach forward, like just right in between our own legs. And the best way to do is to face your hands. And then spine straight, feet flexed, your toes flexed towards you, and hands like together but arms straight out. And then reach forward, just completely forward. Man, does that work? The bottom of your feet and your hamstring, but really more like your calves and your shins and the bottom of your feet. And now reach and then keep reaching and hold and then reach further and hold and reach further and hold and keep going. Just keep going and hold. And hold as long as you can. You're flexing your toes too. And now relax. Whew, take a nice deep breath if you need to, if you have to, if you must. Always take a deep breath when you feel like it. Don't ever hold your breath. Let mana flow. Let earth flow. Mother Earth, the wind, flow throughout you. Now open your legs a little more and do the reach, but this time reach with your palms down. And now reach forward. You're just leaning forward as much as you can. And you're holding. This time I'm not flexing my feet. It's kind of difficult when you got your leg stance a little wide. I'm just letting them relax. So hands are facing and I'm reaching forward and holding. Reaching forward and holding. Reaching forward and hold. Reach forward, hold. Reach forward, hold. Reach forward, hold. Okay. Woo! If you're doing this or you do them later, please put in the comments your experience with any of these methods and exercises and stretches. I call it stretchercise because you're stretching your imagination along with your mind and your body. So you could do whatever you want at this point, kind of like just, I don't know, be like a kid. Like right now, it feels natural to just do this with my feet and my legs. I'm flexing my ankles, my toes towards me, and then it feels natural to put them together and just kind of do that roll again where I'm rolling towards my feet. I'm gently pressing my fingers up against my toes and holding. Woo! Man. I kicked my own butt today. Thanks, guys. I'm so happy that you're here. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. And thanks for being a member where it says join. Thanks for being a channel member. You're helping me so much with that. You have no idea. Let's see. I just love having the support group. And thank you very much for being here. Thanks for following along with my YouTube journey. Join me for Monday Manifestation, where we reach new heights in our careers and our personal lives. And also Self-Care Saturday. Thanks for being a participant in my Self-Care Saturday live videos. We're getting a lot of self-awareness out of these playlists. And then Throwback Thursday, which is today, is more like a throwback to a little bit of everything every type of content that I have done to establish myself on the internet. And it's some niches that have worked for me in in my influencer career, but also in my life, because I am an authentic creator where I show you exactly who I want to be. And literally, if I didn't do these stretches today, then I might not have done them. So my video career is so healing for me because it's putting me right where I need to be. And that is such a blessing. And I'm so glad that I could share that with you and that you could be here with me. So if anybody wants a shout out, please let me know right now. And I'd be more than happy to say hello. So please put in the comments. And if not, then we're going on, it's going on maybe 51 minutes live. So I really rocked it out today. So while I'm waiting for anybody to request a shout out, I am going to do some body rocking. So which way do I want to do that today? How about sitting straight up and like just rocking my knees, kind of like circular motions. There we go. So I'm locking in my fingers. Thanks for the little heart emojis. And I'm like going circular, and then I'm going the other direction. I'm rocking my whole body. Yeah, that's a good way to salute this grounding floor exercises ritual, where we're harmonizing stress. I love you guys so much. So I'm going to jump into my members group for a minute. And so if you are a subscriber member, then I'll see you there. And I will be here in a few days for Self-Care Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to that because I have something special planned. I love you. Mwah. Mwah. And give me a hug. Woo! Thanks for joining me on these relaxing, grounding floor exercises. I'll see you in the next video. Hi, Trisha. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hi, Curtis. Hello, Gorilla. Hi, Soprano. Hi, Jenny. I'm all woman here to answer your question. And Calum and Arcs and Bay and Fernando. Cool Charlie, Pebble. If any of you guys are still here. Henok. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. I love you. Mwah.